Well, thank you all for being here. Yes. It is quite a legacy. 50 years of education and advocacy. I am so incredibly proud to be a part of this organization. My name is Maggie DeWitte's. I'm the Executive Director of Pulse Life Advocates, and I sincerely thank you for being here. So now I would like you all to raise your glasses for a toast. It's a toast to answered prayers, a toast to the challenging work that this organization and many others across the country have fought hard and long for. A toast to the end of Roe versus Wade. Goodbye, Roe. We will not miss you. Well, we do have a lot to celebrate tonight. Many thought we would never see this day. It has been a long-fought battle, and it is absolutely right and just that we celebrate this evening. But of course, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't give you the reality of what's happening in our country. The reality is we still have abortion in Iowa. When Roe versus Wade was overturned via the Dobbs case this summer, it meant that abortion law went back to individual states as to how best to regulate, or in some cases, completely eliminate abortion in their state. So unfortunately, we do still have abortion here in Iowa. Many have heard me over the years talk about the so-called fundamental right to abortion in our Iowa Constitution, where unelected judges legislated from the bench and created law in 2018. Well, a week prior to our Roe decision, we had our own mini Roe decision here in Iowa via Planned Parenthood Reynolds, in which they reversed that decision, and so there is no longer a constitutional right or fundamental right to abortion in our Iowa Constitution. They also stated that the 24-hour waiting period before obtaining an abortion was now legal and it was not unconstitutional. So huge victories here in our state. So although the reversal of that fundamental right, as much as I would love to tell you that eliminated abortion, it did not. And so now we have to go forward next legislative session, and what that does is it gives us the ability to now move forward to restrict and hopefully eliminate abortion from our state altogether. And you can bet that's exactly what we're going to try and do. Additionally, our pro-life Governor Reynolds filed a motion to lift the injunction against the heartbeat bill that we passed in 2018. We had the court hearing already, and as soon as this summer, we could already see our ruling that would declare no abortions when a heartbeat can be detected. So again, just can't tell you enough how much we have to celebrate. So we're not going to stop, though, at that. While it's great victories for heartbeat, we're going to go all the way, and we want to protect all babies from the moment of conception. And so next legislative session, that's exactly what we're going to be pushing, is life at conception. And while we're seeing great strides here in Iowa, we still have a federal government and a president that is trying to codify Roe and ingrain abortion as a protection in our laws. So that's why you need groups like Pulse Life Advocates. We are the last line of defense against all of those forces that are trying to destroy life. We're seeing even on lower levels, county attorneys that are signing signing things that say they will no longer enforce abortion law. Or what happened here in Des Moines, we have city councils that are trying to do proposals that will say we're not enforcing abortion law. So we still have so much work to do to defend life. And that's why the educational efforts of Pulse Life Advocates are so needed. Abortion has been and continues to be a very divisive issue. And we've seen 50 years of abortion law. That's not suddenly going to change hearts and minds. We have so much work to do in our educational efforts, in our advocacy efforts, to get to the point where we can eliminate abortion. And I think that the reason that we saw so much violence and anger after the Roe decision was fear. There was so much fear because people have bought the lie that we have to have abortion in our society, that the answer to women getting ahead and empowering women is so they have to kill their young. We have been brainwashed for 50 years of that lie. And so it's groups like our organization that are there to continue to educate that abortion is not the answer, and we don't need it in our society. And we, of course, have the media and Hollywood socialites all working against us. In fact, one actress just recently said that she thought abortion was another word for mercy. So that's what we're up against. So where do we go from here? Well, some have said when Roe fell, well, now your real work begins, which I take a little offense to that because I've been working pretty darn hard for the last 20 years. But they are right in that it is a new kind of work. It is a new kind of work that we'll be embarking right now to change hearts and minds. And so we need to help, number one, our pregnancy resource centers and organizations across the state that are helping women in need. And Pulse is helping in a tangible way in that regard. Less than 2 months ago, we were offered a new office space by a generous donor, Jim Sinclair, who is here this evening. Jim, stand up, please. For those of you who came to our open house, you saw what a beautiful space we have to do our work in defending life. And because the space was more than we needed, we offered to have a group called Mary's Helping Hands join us in our space. And we have some representatives from that organization here tonight. Would you all stand up, Mary's Helping Hands, so we can applaud you for your great work? They are the boots on the ground helping women in need. And I can't wait to see how our partnership will continue on in the coming years. We also need to invest in the future of the pro-life movement and the next generation, especially those on college campus. Pulse decided to put our money where our mouth is, and we are financially helping one such young woman. You can come on up here. Serena Hilton has been educated by Pulse throughout high school, into college at Iowa State, and now being a focus minister on a campus in Michigan. I've invited Serena to come and share what she's doing and the impact she is having.
Thank you, Maggie, and thank you to Pulse for your commitment to promoting life. It has been an honor to be involved in different ways throughout the years. So just for a little bit of background, Focus is a Catholic organization that sends missionaries to college campuses to spread the gospel in a world that is in great need of truth and purpose and hope. So as a missionary at Northern Michigan, I lead Bible studies and discipleship groups to walk with students in how to live the faith. I work on a team of missionaries, And my team also goes out on campus every week to meet students who are very far from Jesus. So I'll sit down with them in the dining halls or start up conversations with them in the hub spots of campus. And I recently had the opportunity to host an education table with students about Michigan's Proposal 3. So Proposal 3 is an abortion law that would add abortion to Michigan's constitution. I was very inspired by the courage of the students at the Catholic center I work at. They took action and set up all the logistics to get permission from the university in order to host a table in the middle of the hub spot on campus. And that first day, as 4 of us began setting up, I could tell we were all pretty nervous. And so a student and I grabbed some flyers to pass out to people, and we stood in front of the table to begin chatting with people who were walking by. And it was sanctifying work, to say the least, but I knew all the students were watching me, so it was a beautiful thing for me to be that leader to them and to show them how to facilitate these tough conversations with strangers. And we had many respectful conversations with people, so much so that people walked away from me saying, "Thank you for talking. I appreciated being able to discuss this with you." It's like, wow. What made these people feel uplifted by a conversation about super hard things? But it was our way of talking to them. It was our demeanor of love. It was us prompting them with questions about their thoughts about the subject. Now, of course, not everyone we talked to was the most friendly, but our presence on campus sparked conversations and facilitated positive encounters of pro-lifers for students on campus. So thank you again to Maggie and to Pulse for your support of me and my mission to spreading the gospel of hope and the culture of life to college students. I will be praying for you in all your endeavors to bring hope and healing to our generation.